Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm going to show you how to make these homemade Mounds Bars. You can also make homemade Almond Joy bars the same way. So keep watching. First thing we want to do is start off with a large bowl. Inside that large bowl, I want to put 14 ounces of flaked coconut. Next, we're going to add 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. And about a teaspoon of salt. Then we're just going to mix this up until everything's well combined. Next, I have a pan that's filled with parchment paper. I'm going to pour this out into it and make it nice and flat. Spread it out. Now this pan's a little bigger than I need, so I'm just going to spread it out to about half the size of the pan. Doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. Now we're just going to take this, put this in the freezer for 20 minutes. Next, we're going to melt some chocolate. I have a 10-ounce bag here, and this is dark chocolate. Make sure you use premium chocolate, really good chocolate. I'm not going to melt the whole 10 ounces, so I'm going to leave about 3 to 4 ounces behind. Melt these in the microwave 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between. Now that our chocolate is all melted, we're going to take the rest of our chocolate, about 3 ounces worth, and dump it in there. This is going to temper the chocolate. And mix it up really good until everything's melted completely. And you might be asking what tempering chocolate does. It makes it so when you grab the chocolate, it doesn't just melt in your hands right away. If you don't temper chocolate, it'll be okay. You just would have to keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat it, or else it'll just melt on its own. All right, so now that your chocolate is melted and tempered, we're going to put that aside, bring out our coconut, and we'll take it out of the pan. At this point, we're going to cut them up into strips. I'm going to do about a 2-inch thick and about 4 inches in length. That's about the size of the Mounds bar I'm going to make. And then I'm just going to form it by hand and put it on another baking sheet with some parchment paper. All right, so we're just going to cut this in half and then cut it into 2-inch strips. Now you can just take it by hand, and I'm going to just transfer it to this other one and form it into our shape. These are going to be pretty big Mounds bars, by the way. Now it actually made 8 of these very large ones. You can make them much smaller. It doesn't have to be this big. You could definitely get 12 at them if you make them smaller, but 8 of them, not bad. I'm going to take these, I'm going to put them in the freezer just for about 10 minutes to harden them up more before we dip them in the chocolate. Okay, so these have been in the freezer again, another 10 minutes, just to firm them up some. So one by one, dip them in our chocolate. Tap off the excess chocolate. And put it back on the parchment paper to harden up. Now it's time for the taste test. Let's dig in. Perfect. Just like the store-bought one, but only bigger. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these homemade Mounds bars. These are so easy to make, and you can do it too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also hit that big red subscribe button and check out this video right here. And until then, I'll see you next time. That's filled with some parchment paper, just line. Next, I have a pan that's lined with parchment paper. I'm just going to scoop some of this. No. So while that's in the while that's in the freezer freezing up, while that's in the freezer hardening up, what I want to talk about.